Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to another video. This video is going to be a pretty short one. It's just going to be going over the draw page layout and formulas tables, or sorry, tabs rather. Basically, there's not a whole lot to them basically, so this is, as I mentioned, it's going to be quite short, so let's just begin. So we're going to go over to a new sheet because I don't want to use my existing sheet just yet. As you can see, we're on the draw tab right here. Here you can just select as normal. Again, it's basically the exact same thing as clicking. Eraser, we'll get to that soon. We can get to that soon. Pen, again, you just click pen. Then you can draw basically things like this. And here we have another pen. It's basically different color. Select colors. Standard colors, again, thickness. You can adjust thickness right here. Recent colors. Looks like there's no color wheel, but that's okay. That's kind of, it's Microsoft Excel Online, so it's not going to come with a lot of bells and whistles. So change the thickness, black, and so forth. And finally we have a highlighter, so it's just pretty kind of useful. Will basically work as a highlighter. You know, it's got a certain length to it. You can just draw a bunch of things like that. So you go over to page layout here. We're going to select page setup. Let's give it a second. Okay, so this will just give us a sheet if we wanted to print it on. And again, we have the print button here. Active sheet, letter, format, portrait, normal, fit all columns. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Print area, again, you can set print area. Select print area to single cell. Again, you could do that, but if you want to, for example, hang on, I gotta erase this. Okay. That's kind of embarrassing, but so we've got a page layout. We can select print area, and that will just set print out basically just all of what we selected and nothing more apparently. So next we have breaks. We just click here. It's not a whole lot that happens. Again, page break. Again, it produces some lines here that will, I think, basically break the page if we want to print it out. So, and then we can just remove that. Page breaks. Sheet right left, again, is pretty self-explanatory. You can set it up that this particular table is on the right side here. Click back on it again, and it'll shift it back. And finally, we have formula. So we have, again, an insert function option here. This is basically our whole table, our whole kind of list of things. So we have the commonly used function. We have the sum, average, count, max, min, st, standard deviations, if, sum if, countif, and lookup, which are commonly used. And select all here. As you can see under all, there's a whole bunch of different functions you can use. So you don't need to know all of them, obviously, but obviously very useful. Here we have some different functions. For example, we have the financial functions, accrue interest, monthly, and so forth. There are quite a few here. If we go to date and time, we have slightly less. And basically, you just organize basically whatever you want to use Excel Online for. You can use these functions. So for example, last one's database function, database average, count, get, max, min. And so we can just click cancel. And basically, under the formulas tab, you'll see that you'll have basically these functions that we just went over in. So for example, we have AutoSum. This is our basic math operations. We have sum, average, count numbers, max, min, and more functions. And if we click on more functions, we just get to the same little pop-up window here. And finally, we have, well, not quite finally, but we have, again, we have a quick selection tool here, or icon here. Again, this is financial. We can just scroll down. It shows the exact same functions as if we were to insert function here. So we can just go back to financial. And it basically should be the exact same set of functions, or if it's not exact, it should be the most common functions. Again, we have the same here for logic, text, date and time, lookup, reference, math, and trig, more functions. Again, it's just statistical engineering cube. So it's basically the same thing as our insert function, right? Go with this. That's yes, we have math and trig, statistics, lookup. So that's that. Show formulas. Again, we'll just show formulas if we have some items selected. So for example, we could just write, well, if you want to do some functions, you need to select, actually, actually need to select the cells that you want to do a function of. So for example, we have GDP in billions here, so we want to just add this up. Oops. I'll just add this up. Do select sum. It'll give us a sum in the G column right here, so should add all of them up. Basically it's the same kind of thing you want to do. Again, if you have sort of financial functions, you need to select cells. You need to put in the functions of the cells. Actually, more in-depth formulas, how to use formulas, that will be another video. Because again, you need to use some sort of specific syntax to do some operations. But basically, this is just for basics. We'll definitely go over how to use functions and so forth. Like for example, you could just type in E equals, let's say E3, and then you gotta select E3, and you can do some operations on it. Yes, this will be for another video. Right now, we're just going over the tabs. And then formulas, again, we have show formula. And we don't have any formulas up right now, so it's not doing anything. Calculation options, it's automatic except for data tables. And then there's manual. Again, it should be pretty self-explanatory. You know, it's automatic. It will automatically sum up, for example, if you have a sum option or a manual, it should do the same thing. Calculate workbook, again, it's the same thing. Again, the whole workbook, you basically calculate some sort of function. And finally, calculate the sheet for this function. So for example, I guess if you wanted to kind of select everything, well, it's not the whole sheet, but it's basically just the same thing as workbook, but same sheet, but doing it with the calculate sheet button. So yeah, that's the draw, page layout, and formulas tabs. It's the very basics. Again, unfortunately, I didn't get showing a bunch of different formulas, like for example how you add and subtract kind of different cell rows. I'll definitely get to that in a later video, but for now, this was draw, page layout, and formulas tabs. So hopefully I'll see you in the next one.